Cut. So every hack that we have is going to go through 5 stages, right? So we have 5 stages of a hack. Who can tell me what they are? 5 stages of a hack. Nelson. Nelson.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Okay. Yes. 5 stages of a hack. So what are the 5 stages of a hack, Nelson? Can you help us?
I can't even see you. I need to go off and come back again. Let me connect my network. Sorry. Good morning.
Oyeka, can you try? We did this in
yes. We have reconnaissance.
Okay, so reconnaissance.
Gaining access.
No.
Scanning.
Scanning, okay. Yeah.
Scanning for the second one.
Gaining access.
Hold on.
Maintaining access.
Hold on.
Yes.
Ebuka, Martins, continue.
Yes, sir. We have footprinting.
Yes,
Yeah,
this is still the same thing as footprinting.
Yeah, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and clearing tracks.
Martins, clap for yourself. You don't have to clap for yourself. Imagine me saying clearance. Maybe I want to do some importation.
Yeah.
So, sir, I have a question.
I'm coming. Maintaining access and clearing tracks. Yes, ask your question.
Okay, I want to ask if reporting is part of it.
Reporting. Now, this is for hacking. You want to hack.
Okay.
It is different from pen testing. Right? For those of us doing the 5-in-1 program, or for those of us doing internship, or for those of us doing the 5-in-1 program or doing the internship, after this course later on, you're going to take pen testing. Now, when you take pen testing we have processes, which would be same thing, like before you reconnaissance even self, you have to first do what? You have to first plan. You have to first define scope. Right? After doing all of this, then you now do the actual attack. Then before you now report. So this is like a 4-step summary process. So when somebody is trying to hack, you're not doing reporting, no. It's when you are pen testing, because for pen testing, you have a goal. Your goal is that you want to be able to understand the security posture of the company. You want to see how safe, you want to see how secure they are. So if they are secured, you're going to know. If they're not secured, you're going to know. So the only way you can know is by first you define what you want to do, right? You first define it. You do reconnaissance, do footprinting, of course, which you can do through which Abubakar, how can you do reconnaissance? Give me like 4 ways.
It depends. We can use different tools pre-installed in Kalinos. So we can use like
I didn't say what to.
Okay.
So if you want to do OSINT, you can say, okay, I want to do social engineering. You can say, I want to do web footprinting.
Okay.
You can say, okay, I want to do email. You can say, I want to do what else again? So you have quite a lot of ways you could do reconnaissance. The goal is that you want to do what? You want to get things like IP address, you want to get things like email, you want to get things like those very peripheral information about the digital asset. Then at the attack phase, that's where the real, all of this now comes in, all of this here. So all of this, especially from scanning to gaining access, these 3, 1, 2, 3, you do it at this attack phase of your pen testing. Is once you are done with everything, you now write report, because you don't just do pen testing because you want to do pen testing. You always do pen testing for reasons. which can be, okay, we want to make sure that we are compliant. We want to see our security posture. Of course, all this will also include, we want to see what we need to fix. We want to see our loopholes and all of that. So there are several reasons why we can do pen testing. So that's why, Abubakar, you cannot say report in the 5 stages of hacking. Did I answer your question?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good. So I will go back to this guy. So if you check, so when they say top hacker show have his zones, if you open that lab, it's a very straightforward, just to explain. You have a video there that's about 17 minutes thereabouts. You watch the video, it now summarizes. So you have to tell us the different ways the attack can happen. You tell us the methods through which the attack can happen. You tell us what's actually at stake. Because in security, there's what we call hack value, right? Hack value. Who can tell me what is hack value? When you got hack value. Hack value. What is hack value? Who can try? Hack value.
The reason for the hacker.
Yes, reason, correct. So reason.
I think it's the reason. Okay.
Yes, reason. What is
Sorry.
the benefit? Nelson, so what can be the benefit for somebody wanting to hack you? Right? Who can help him?
Okay, it could be okay, it could be for activism purpose.
Okay, activism, we're not go agree. Oh, we want this, you have to do this, all of that. Then it can be for what? Financial gain.
Financial gain, yeah.
Right? Aside financial gain, what else? To
To
get down on competitors, right? Competitive advantage. What else?
to gather information, to steal information.
Yes, just to gather information, just to know, knowledge sake. At times for fun, right? At times it's for fun. So all of these are reasons why a hack is going to happen. So if you check this particular lab, so you see all of that content. So it's a lab where you just watch the video and you fill in the questions. So I'll assign that to somebody. For cybersecurity case studies, yeah, you're going to see different kind of attacks that have happened. And normally in class, I will tell students that, you see, when guys are trying to know what is happening, once guys are trying to know the issues or trying to look at security news, you don't look at security news from the standpoint of just what you have in a blog. You want to look at cybersecurity from a standpoint of knowledge, of value. You're asking yourself, what value are you going to get from that knowledge? So you want to know things like how, when, where, who, how did it happen? When did it happen? Even what's the mean time of response? How long did it take before there was a pushback? Where did it happen? So jurisdiction. Right? Location. How many of us know of NDPR? Who can tell me the full meaning? I'm coming. So I'm coming. Who can tell me the full meaning of NDPR?
I think it's
Nigeria Data Protection Regulation.
Come again.
Nigeria
Nigeria
Regulation.
No expo.
What is a data protection national or Nigeria Data Protection Regulation?
You say what?
Okay, let me say Nigeria Data Protection Regulation.
What of this one?
What's that?
General
GDPR,
protection.
global.
So what's the difference?
General.
One is local, like Nigeria, the other one is global, worldwide.
So is there any relationship between both of them?
Yes.
What's the
There are all
relationship?
rules on how to protect data protection regulation.
That's what I'm saying now. So how are they related?
They
Well,
protect data.
those in Nigeria have to conform. Yeah, everybody has to conform to those rules. They all
No.
protect data. That's the relationship. They all regulate. They regulate data dissemination and all.
Okay, who can try? Who else?
The NDPR is under the GDPR.
You say what?
I said the NDPR is under the GDPR. As Shemeka mentioned
Yeah, so
before.
it's the point is just that, okay, we have an EU regulation, then you have tech companies like the Google, like the Dell, like the HP, like the AWS, that is Amazon, like all of those companies, right? So even your email providers, all of those server providers, most of them have offices or headquarters or outlets in Europe. It's an European regulation. But since that is going to happen, so all of these companies, no matter where their headquarters, provided they have users there. So this have to do with data at rest, data in transit. Yes, who else? Data in process. The data is at rest. Maybe it's in a hard disk. It's stored. Data in transit, right? You fill in a form on a website, username, password. It goes through, right, to your server. Data processing, you copy files or you query data, you are retrieving file. All of the different stages of data, we want to make sure that it is safe. And of course, who is handling that particular data? We want to make sure the person is doing it well. And the data owner, the person that have that data, we want to make sure that the person can have access to that particular data. So that's the summary of what you have in the GDPR. So since because of this, most countries will now have to adapt this regulation. So that's why you have most countries having a version or an adaptation of the GDPR. So back to why people are going to hack. So who is involved, right? So the attack vectors or the attackers. Then how did it happen can also mean through which medium. This can also, we can also look at the vector. The vector here, we're asking ourselves, is it web? Is it network? Is it cloud? Is it mobile? How through which channel did it go through? That's very crucial for anybody trying to do cybersecurity to have some good fundamental and intermediate level knowledge about web applications, networks, clouds, mobile apps, and the rest. So if you don't know that, if you cannot do that, you're going to find difficult able to protect the data that you have across those channels. Okay, that's that. Now, so for the case studies, we're trying to understand for each case study, if we say we want to do a research for a particular attack, let's say in the bank, or let's say in a company, or let's say for a fintech company, this case study summarizes each of those items. You need to, for each kind of attack that happens as a security analyst, we need to learn and grab those information. How, where, when. That's the only way we can learn and prevent that from happening in the future. Because as a security analyst, your job is going to involve advising people on what to do and how to mitigate such kind of attack. And you're not going to experience all the attack in your short lifetime. So the one way you can know about that is to do what? Is to do a lot of case studies, to do a lot of research. You could go online, you could go on ChatGPT, you could go on SANS room, SANS. I normally tell students to make sure that you register an account on SANS rooms. Right? You could use SANS room, you could use ChatGPT, you could use anything. You could say top, if you want to do that as an assignment, top 20 hack, or you could say top 5 hacks or cybersecurity hacks in Europe. And you are coming back to say, how did it happen? When did it happen? Who was involved? What was the method? You could just ask ChatGPT these 5 hacks, get the result. Then do top 5 hacks in United States, right? In Nigeria, right? In Australia, in China. Once you get these details, you have up to like 30 case studies that can give you an insight into how some of these hacks happen. And this is going to help you become more knowledgeable to prevent some of these attacks. Okay, so you also have, so this, I said this, and I think this. So for learning details of an attack, so this goes further to like in module 1 to like explain in clearer details about the processes through which some of these attacks happen. Then same thing with visualizing the black hats. Most of us, we know that there are different types of hacks. So we have the different hats, the different kind of personality, the different kind of persona that these attackers put on. So we have the black, the gray, the white, and all of that. And I think I'm going to share a short video where I distinguish between purple, gray, black, and all of that. So, and the different kind of roles they can play in a cybersecurity team. Now, for becoming a defender, that's for module 2. I think for module 2 is attackers, I think defending the attackers or so. So for becoming a defender, that's lab 2.25. There is just a very straightforward lab that explains the different career paths. I don't want to open each of the labs because if I open them, it might take me a lot more time to explain. Just trying to do some kind of summary so that you understand what is inside, so that when it is assigned to you, you can do that and drop on the group. So for becoming a defender, you just have different career paths, right? You have different career paths in cybersecurity. So you have different certification bodies. So you are currently doing CyberOps, right? So it is called Cisco Cybersecurity Operations Associate, right? Then you have the one from CompTIA. It is called CompTIA Cisco Cybersecurity, right? Operations Associates. Then you have CompTIA Security Plus. There you have CH, that is from EC Council. Then that's Certified Ethical Hacker. Then you have CISA from ISACA. This is Certified Information System Auditor. Then you have Cisco have another one that is called the CCST. That is a Cisco Certified Security Technician, right? So all of these are entry-level certifications. So for jobs, they're going to tell you, okay, CompTIA Security Plus or equivalent. They're going to tell you Cisco Cybersecurity or Cisco CyberOps or equivalent. They're going to tell you CH or equivalent, CISA or equivalent. So all of these are equivalents. I do tell students, it's just like when you say WAEC, you say NAPTEP, you say, what's it called? You say NECO, right? All of these are all O-level, right? Certifications for those in Nigeria or within Africa. Now, you're going to see that some are harder, but doesn't mean it can't qualify you for a job or for your university degree, right? So any of them is fine. But as a security analyst, you need to be able to understand what you have in the content of most of this curriculum. They deal on same thing. For persons that are very experienced and have gone through some of these items, for instance, we are CompTIA partner. I think Google also have theirs. Google have theirs. I can't remember now, right? So all of this is just to give you the different certifications that you can go through to become a defender. Then you have lab 3310, how to create a user account on Windows. So everybody here is a very straightforward lab. Everybody here should be able to create an account on Windows. Then you have social engineering. Social engineering is one of the methods in reconnaissance and footprinting. So social engineering is exploiting that human that human nature of people trying to always help. You know, everybody wants to help, everybody wants to, most people want to like assist others. They want to make sure that people get by. Please help me with your system so that I can do something. I forgot my system so that I can check my mail. And what the person is trying to do, that the person plugs his flash so that he can collect the documents to actually send the mail. And what the person is trying to do, that the person is running some scripts, the person is running some softwares, and the person can export reasonable file. So, or you have what we call dumpster diving, shoulder surfing, eavesdropping, tailgating. All of these are methodologies in social engineering. So you're going to see that in that theoretical lab. And of course, tracing a route. For tracing a route, you just use ICMP commands, that is Internet Control Messaging Protocol. So something like a ping, something like trace sat, something like trace route, something like a DNS lookup. All of these are networking commands that you can use to actually trace a route. And when you say trace a route, you just want to know how many hops, how many servers do you have between point A and point B. So lab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, they are the most easiest labs across the labs that we have. So I'm going to cut them. Right? I'm going to create a folder. I'm going to have this as tags. Right? So there are 8 of them. So I'm going to give each person 2. So you're going to go through them and you're going to present to us next week in class. So we just give you averagely like 30 or 40 minutes. If we cannot do it during our own sessions, I think tomorrow I'll actually start my labs. Then we can do that maybe on a Saturday, on a Sunday. Or you just record it and drop for us in the group. So if you check very well, so we have around, so these ones are the ones that are already done on YouTube. They are available. I think it's about 21. I've not finished adding them to this place. Then you have the ones that are going to be done as task assignments because they're like the most simplest. I might add 2 more here. Then of course we have roughly around, what's it called? Around 20. So tomorrow, we're going to start with all the labs that are left that has to do with Wireshark and anything that has to do with server logs or Linux. So tomorrow, we'll trash out 3-way handshake, Wireshark, DNS traffic, server logs, anything that has to do with Linux, and maybe some of this incident handling, right? We trash out all of that. Then next week, Tuesday or Wednesday, we will continue with the remaining labs. Please, who have questions before the end of today's class?
Yes, I do, please. My question is on the assignment.
Okay,
Are you
good.
still splitting
No, I will split. I will just assign each person
to
2
one,
labs.
or everybody will take everything?
Yes. I'm not going to. I will just assign each. I'll just assign you your lab number.
Okay.
You just go through it. You record the video and drop for us in the group. I think that would be
Okay.
very easy, so that we save time. So you just go through it. Like if you see tracing route, this one is very straightforward. Most of the times you're going to do it in your, what's it called? You can do that on either your Kali Linux or your CyberOps workstation, or you can do it on Windows. You open your CMD and you run those commands, right? So it explains these 2 ICMP commands, the traceat or the traceroute, right? So if you're on a Linux environment or if you're in a Windows environment. So the lab is very straightforward. You are told to sign in into your CyberOps workstation. You must have internet access. You can still do this on your Windows, right? Then you are told to ping -C for Cisco. So you just want to say, okay, I want to send only 4 packets, right? And this is the link you're trying to ping. You're trying to see when you ping, you're trying to see if that particular IP address or if that particular domain name is active, is up and running, right? So you see 0% loss 4% received. So it sends 4 packets and it receives them. It means that that particular asset is up and running, right? So it goes to now try the other one, which is a traceroute, Cisco. Then it explains the different registries or registrars for different locations. And I think that was all. So it's a very straightforward lab. So I will just assign the ones I'm assigning are the very ones that are very, very simple. So I'll just assign them, then you go through it, then you record the lab. You shouldn't exceed 10 minutes, except it takes you longer. You record it and just drop for us so that students can go through it. Any other question? Any other person have any question? Okay, I will drop. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Just regarding this CyberOps workstation.
Okay, so what issue do you have with your CyberOps
I'm still
workstation?
unable to connect to the internet ever since yesterday.
Okay,
I've been
so
trying to
I think,
troubleshoot.
can you attempt, since you tried your bridge, your NAT, your whatever, I think you could just remove this particular instance and bring it back again and see whether it's going to solve it. You know, at times some of these guys can be very stubborn. And it's not a situation whereby you're going to see an error message to be able to diagnose, right? So, and
Yes.
also it depends on, that's why I always say, when you're installing some of these, what's it called? Some of these items, try not to install additional adapters. Because once you have multiple adapters, you're going to, each of them might be looping and you now have some configuration issues. Because this one is trying to loop the data into this one is trying to loop the data into this, and you now have some kind of issues. So if you can remove the entire stuff from, or if this was VMware, attempt using Oracle VirtualBox and importing the machine.
Okay.
If this was Oracle VirtualBox, attempt using VMware and importing the machine. I think they shouldn't have issues. Okay, thank you, everybody. I will drop this record and see you guys tomorrow, same time. And I also drop the tags for you.